You're watching Today on Display. I'm your host, Sarah Priebus, and we've just been talking to Heather King, one of our content creators here on the app. And now I'm very pleased to welcome my friend, Stefanie Barboza. Hi, Stefanie.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I am so good. I'm so excited that you're here to talk a little bit more about your story and the Barboza Method.
Thank
And
you,
of
thank
course,
you.
how you've used social media in order to develop your business and sort of spread the message. So before we get into any of the meat of that, I'd love for you to sort of just take a moment and introduce yourself to everyone, being that you are a first-time guest. Say hi to everyone here on display.
All right, well, hi everybody. I am Stefanie Barboza, and I am the owner and the creator of the Barboza Method. It is a full body, low impact workout that's all done on the floor to improve your body's posture and alignment. The car driving by really fast.
It's okay.
And we use always the floor as a map to stay straight, and it's completely just low impact.
I think that's great. I definitely, as I've gotten older, have realized that I need more low impact workouts in my life. I was in physical therapy for the last 6 months dealing with a hip injury. So I think the easier we can be on our bodies, but still, get the movement. I think that's great. So
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk a little bit before we get into the Barboza Method itself. Who's Stefanie? I guess, what was your sort of story leading up to developing the Barboza Method? And then I'll utilize actually your video called The Story to help sort of tell the origin of that. But before all of this started, sort of what's your background? What were you doing?
My background was in dance. I was a dancer for a very long time, and then I moved over into teaching. And how I actually started the Barboza Method was I met one of the grandmothers that was bringing her kid to class, and she needed a trainer because she was going through many health issues. And I started working out with her. And when I started working out with her, I realized that she wasn't able to do much of the stuff that you're used to doing, like lifting weights or jumping or standing up, sitting down, getting on your hands and knees. So I had to develop exercises around her abilities. And I've just been repeating it on more and more people, and it was made to help one, and now it's shared to help many.
I mean, it's such a cool origin story, and the fact that you've sort of come up with your own version of something that really works for you and so many other people, I think is so inspiring. There really are so many different ways to experiment with wellness these days and different types of workouts. It's not just yoga. There's 10 different kinds of yoga, maybe even more. And so again, I'm really excited to sort of dive into a little bit more about the Barboza Method. But tell me a little bit more. I'm so curious because being that there's a lot of creatives on this platform, what sort of dance did you do?
I mainly focused in ballet, and I think that's where my strict form and alignment came from. And then I started venturing into musical theater, and we did lots of modern and just started dabbling in hip hop and stuff more commercial based. And yeah, I just kind of found myself more in the commercial world out of the company world, and then decided to go back into it, but on the other side, which is where I'm giving. So I started teaching it.
What was it about dance, that sort of led you to it? I always like to ask sort of people sort of their intention behind something. So when you decided, at least for the earlier part of your life, that you wanted to pursue dance, what was it about dance that drew you to it?
My mother was a dancer, so she brought me into that world by showing me the Nutcracker and Carmen and Les Sophie and Swan Lake and all these other ballets. And I just had a natural talent for almost like copycatting, just seeing and trying to recreate what I saw. And I think that's how a lot of obviously children just learn, is just by seeing and then doing. And my parents got me into dance school, and I just fell in love with it. And I just kept on growing and growing. I first went to Baltimore School for the arts for high school, and then went to performing arts college, and just kept on just, I don't know, it was one of those things like, it's a foundation. It was it was a way to define who I was, and something that was always like there and reliable, and it doesn't lie. Like your leg is either up here or it's not.
Yeah.
So it's very black and white, and you can see like the competition, not just in the room, but with yourself. And I think it just teaches really good, healthy body habits, some of them, but also just a body connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's important for children, and as you get older, to always just keep on just staying in tune with your body and moving.
And I'm sure that added so much of a foundation for the Barboza method as well, being that you had a background there and a passion for that. But you created an incredible post about the origin, the story of the Barboza method. So we're going to take a quick look at that.
Resets your body to the way that it should be, and that's why it is healing. I created this workout method around one 6-year-old woman who was going on dialysis within the year, and she didn't have a thyroid, which regulated. She had to work out to help her kidneys, but she couldn't work out because she didn't have the energy. So I knew that jumping and running and lifting heavy things were not going to work for her. I put everything on the floor. It was a way for her to conserve energy and a way for us to keep parts of our body isolated so we could strengthen specific muscle groups at a time. She was in the clear for needing to get on dialysis, and she kept on telling all these other people about me and this workout. They wanted to do what I did with the other 6-year-old woman, and this is like a 35-year-old woman who's in shape, and I'm just like, why would you want to do that? You're an able-bodied. And I would trade her free privates to let me use her space. And once I got up to like 6 people, I started renting space from a nearby dance studio. And then from there, I started renting more space from different dance studios. And then what I realized was some dance studios I couldn't rent from because the mirrors weren't set all the way down to the floor. I was like, we need mirrors. I need mirrors all the way down to the floor. I need it on 2 sides of the wall, and I need one on the ceiling so they can see exactly what I'm seeing, is that alignment. When everything's in the correct place, it works better. I created this workout method around this one woman to help her, and then in return, now I'm just helping so many. It's really incredible.
This is such a great all-encompassing video of like everything. So I think it's really cool that you took the time to shoot it, put it out there. I feel like people who have general questions sort of about what you do, like they're answered there. So what I want to talk about, what I'm really curious about, is sort of like how you grew your business as an entrepreneur. Like I read a little bit too about how, and I imagine that people weren't familiar with your method, right? Because it's a brand new thing. And whereas people can sort of like read about Pilates or yoga, they're familiar with the word, the term, what kind of class they're potentially getting into. The Barboza method is your own unique program. So how did you grow your business? And what are maybe some tips that you have for other entrepreneurs starting out, whether it be in the wellness space or something else?
Oh, yes. First word of advice is, when you're starting a business, name it what it actually is, so people don't question, because now you're spending so much time and money trying to educate people on it, which is great when you have like a huge corporation behind you and you can do brand building. But yes, definitely say what it is. So yes, I did decide to name it after myself because it was my method, and I thought it was amazing. And Joseph Pilates named it after his name. And like I said, it was just a lot of just educating, and like, what is this? Who is this? What does this mean? And in doing that, you're also trying to figure out the voice of like what is your elevator pitch? What is Barboza? Well, it's like yoga, it's like ballet, it's Pilates, it's all the floor, da da da. So it's really trying to like have a laser focus of saying it in one sentence of exactly what it is. Um, so that actually took a couple of years, and we're still trying to like, we're always trying to like make it more clear.
Yeah.
And that's why that whole like full body, low impact, it's like a script now. But having that good script is so important, having your foundation on your business, because there are so many times where you're like, yes, I'm doing great. And then you have these crazy lows where you're like, I don't even know, like, what am I doing here? And you start like doubting yourself and doubting what it is. And it's just, you have your students or your clients to like always fall back on. You always get that little phone call, like, oh my God, I love what you're doing. And then you bring back your energy again. But
Yeah.
it's always good to know exactly what you want and what you have, and just make that very strong before even going any further. And then yeah, it was just really just word of mouth, I would say. That was number one in marketing, is somebody told somebody else, and somebody else told somebody else, and then you just grow and grow and grow. I started doing group classes by renting out space from someone's house, and she had an extra space. And once that got full, then I started actually putting money into renting studios. And then I grew into a studio. So it was really trying to have not just the big picture, but also being able to break down the big picture into smaller steps. And when you break them down into smaller steps, it's a little bit more achievable. Yes. What else? Always dream big. We did a retreat, and that was amazing. We went for 3 days and 2 nights. Um, yeah, we want to keep on going. What else could I say to the business and entrepreneur?
I mean, this is also good. I love the simplicity of naming your business what it is.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
it makes perfect sense. I love hearing how.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I love like hearing how, again, it was these small steps from renting studio space to that, like, I think we have to have patience, right? You dream big, but you have patience, and you start with the smaller steps to get there.
Right. Yeah, the smaller steps is the strategy. So you always have to have a strategy, and of course, like, strategies will change and whatever, especially based on the circumstances. But that's another strategy. That's another pivot that we had to take as a business. And again, it's kind of like, it was like relaunching. Like I said, I had to change some of my verbiage and in my scripts, because now I'm no longer physically there to actually help you get to the positions. Now you have to rely on muscle memory if you've been here before, or if you're a dancer. And in beginners class, we use a wall. So it's usually utilizing the objects around you and what we had to teach with the same integrity. So how social media and like obviously just being online really helps us is because we were able to touch more people than just the people that are close to the studio on Sunset Boulevard. But now we're actually being able to meet the masses just by having content, and the content is reusable and it's resellable, so it also makes more money. I think it's always important when you have a business is also to be able to make it into like a little box where you can fold it up and just recreate it like a little cookie cutter. So we tried to recreate what we had in the studio online, which was very difficult, like I said, because we're always very hands-on. But yeah, we did it.
Is that something that you did prior to the pandemic, or that you had to pivot to during the pandemic?
I had to pivot to during the pandemic. I've always dabbled in it. Everyone's always saying like, oh, let's make workout videos. And I made like little small ones for like my students who go out of town. And I just never really ventured into it because I'm such a people person, and that is my business, is being here. And like I said, just being hands-on. Like I wouldn't be the dancer that I am today if I wasn't in class with the dance teachers being like, nope, your leg needs to go like this, and like putting it there, because there's something about when somebody puts your body physically into place, it's like, oh yeah, I can do this. This
Yep.
is achievable. So that's why my main focus was just bringing people in.
Yep.
So yeah, and doing this, I feel like there is a slight disconnect, but as we're getting like better like this, I feel super connected, because I'm able to see you, I'm able to talk to you, and it's so interesting because I can see everything that's actually going on, and I know there's like a bunch of people here and watching us, so it's very exciting, but it's very different.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
is very different.
I
Like,
was,
especially as like a teacher, like you get cues from your students. Like, oh, you need to turn out your foot. Oh, you need to do this. And like when you're like in a room doing it by yourself, you're like, well, keep on going.
it's really interesting because I am someone who also pivoted as a client, right? Like previous to the pandemic, I worked out in the gym. Like I had my own sort of routine that I had set up with a personal trainer, but then I wasn't. He had set me up with a program, and I was doing it sort of on my own. But then once I didn't have access to the gym because the gym's closed, I was like, what am I going to do in my apartment? And a friend, and again, this goes to your sort of word of mouth thing. Like a friend was like, oh, you should check out this Pilates instructor that I study with. She's amazing. She does like free classes on social media that you can do live with her. And then if you like it, she has a subscription service, like an on-demand platform. And I eventually became a paying client. So like the format works, it totally works. But the one thing that she does that you just talked about, I don't know how she does it. It's like right when I don't want to say like about to quit, but like she's very good about preemptively knowing when I'm potentially like not tucking my pelvis or whatever it is. And she's able to call out those cues. And I'm like, how does she know I'm literally doing it at this very moment in time? So I guess it's just sort of like, what it sounds like from you is that it's sort of just been a journey. Like at first you didn't know how to call for those things, and then as you were going, you're like, okay, I'm guessing that this would be a place where one of my students would potentially, like, or noticing it in yourself or whatever. But it's so interesting to think about her or you filming them with the same way that, like, of course I miss that in-person connection of someone actually being able to see you in real time and adjusting what actually needs to be adjusted, but trying to preemptively guess what a lot of people, those patterns that they would fall into. I can imagine that's difficult.
Yeah, and all it is just cues. Like you go down the checklist of like what you're supposed to be engaging and where the placement is. But yeah, no, it's just so interesting to just create that energy of, I guess, people in a room when it's just you.
Yeah.
But I think that was the biggest pivot for us. Plus, like everyone was like in such an emotional state. I'm like, you can do this. Don't worry about COVID. And they're like, I'm like, no, it's fine. Get your leg up. It's going to be okay. We're going to make it. So it was, like I said, it was just like our foundation of just getting through. Like everyone was like, oh, class is at 12. We have to go. Even if it's just, I'm going to not lay on the couch, but lay on the floor in front of the couch. And now I'm here. So I think it was a way of staying present.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely used those workouts as that, like as a connection in a time.
System,
yeah,
sure.
100%. I wonder, where can people find your on-demand classes? Should they be
on the on-demand platform? You can check us out on any social media platform. My link's there to my website.
Yep.
We'll probably put the link in here.
Yep.
We do have a Healthy Habits newsletter you guys can sign up for, and it's all talking about things that I've learned from my students over the years. My clientele is mostly 40 and above, and like you said, like low impact is very important, and staying active is very important as you learn as you get older. Things don't work the same as they used to, so it's important to like keep your body in tune like a fine instrument.
I wonder, have you experimented at all with the live medium on social media, or have you done mostly the sort of on-demand sort of aspect of things?
Before the pandemic, we always went live
Yeah.
on Instagram on Saturdays, just to, we never had classes on Saturdays here. So we just did it for, I guess, just social media. And then it turned into our marker to create more classes. So we put stuff on our YouTube channel, then we put stuff on our Facebook channel. And then we pulled away from that and just pulled everything onto our on-demand platform. And then whenever I do anything on social media, it's usually for like other people's platforms. So I would go live on their platform, on their Instagram platform, to cater to their audience, or Facebook.
That's great. I mean, it's nice to be able to mix it up and sort of collaborate with others, like you said, in that way. I want to dive into sort of how you do use social media as a tool, because I think in this day and age, like in addition to the word of mouth, it's probably the biggest way to get out, the easiest way, because it's at all of our fingertips, to grow your business, to get the word out. And I love sort of seeing how you have used social media with different types of posts. And you sent me a photo, and I want to take a look at that and talk a little bit about sort of, why you chose this photo as sort of a representation, of your body of work, and also just the different ways. I've pulled in a couple additional photos as well, but sort of, the different ways that you use social media, to educate, to inspire more artistically. So if we can pull up those photos, so that everybody can sort of walk through them with us, and we can discuss a little bit also about, what your intention was behind them. And again, sort of,
intention behind my photo. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, well, the one that you pulled up, I didn't see necessarily on your platform, so I was really excited to see, again, sort of why it is that you selected it. So tell me about this photo.
This photo is called Hang On. I'm joking. But yes. I chose this photo because it showed my body.
Yes.
And I thought it was very interesting. There's lots going on, and it showcases my friend Greg, and this is his photo, and he is one of my great friends, and he's an amazing photographer, and all his credits are in my social media.
Yay. No, it's super fun. I mean, I think it's really cool too. Again, and we'll pull up another one of your photos and kind of walk through them together. And I'm surprising you, because you're like, I don't know which photos you pulled up.
I know.
But we can sort of walk through all of these together. And, because I think there is sort of like this artistic component to your social media where, you are doing.
You're like, your page is so confusing.
It's not confusing at all.
Oh, good.
The thing that I've learned is I feel like we've been taught that we have to like have a niche or have something that people expect from us. And that is so untrue. Like, your niche is you. The same way that you named your business after you, like your niche can be that you are a personal brand. And like, so for you, the Barboza Method is a personal brand. Like, that is your business. So like, I think for me, at least when I look to follow other accounts, like what is interesting to me is getting all the side, like we're not one-dimensional people. So I think, and the stuff that I pulled up, as we'll go through these photos, like some of your, so like
Greg again. That's great.
So amazing, so artistic.
It's called COVID Happened.
Yes, I love it. And like, you're also using it as a resource. You're using it, to spread positivity or a message. Like, I think using it in all of these different ways is so important. Like for me, I'm trying to entertain sometimes. I'm also trying to, connect with my audience and relate a more personal experience. And I think what I saw from your page is that you do it in the same way. Like, you're advertising about your business. You're saying, hey, we have this is the kind of class we do. Sometimes you're even offering some of your classes in this way. But like, it's so cool, like how much fun you're having.
This is Greg too.
Well, Greg is amazing. So shout out to Greg right now, because I love all of his content. And the way that he photographs you, I think it's really great. So like, and again, you're offering these really cool pictures, but you're also offering something in sort of the story behind the post. So like, I'm guessing this is your squad?
Yes, these are some of my teachers and my students. This is my little COVID crew that I kept for all the live streams that we did on our social media platforms.
I love it. I mean, this is so much the pandemic. Like that is what your business, how you guys all pivoted together in the last year. And I think,
yeah, it really does take a village. That definitely holds true.
Yeah, and you showed that. And then I love this one too. Like there's the element of you're not just like your business is your personality. And that's what I got from your social media. Like I love that you're injecting all of these elements of you and all of the women that work with you. Like I think it's so great that you're sort of like using social media as, again, a way to get the word out about your business, but it doesn't have to be so stiff. Like, you're showing the fun side, the artsy side. Again, like a lot of the messaging is within the caption. So you're using that space to sort of like inform or educate or let people know, the story behind the photos. So I think that's great.
Yeah. And just venting and just letting everyone know that we're all going through it and we all have our ups and our downs, and I try not to use social media to sell too much. I know I do, like you run ads and stuff, but it's mostly just to get people, I guess, aware more than anything.
And the other thing that I would say that you do a great job of is incorporating, mini versions of your work. So you had mentioned sort of these quick hits, these 3-minute classes. And I actually have, if anybody wants to join along right now, they want to get down and do a core workout, I grabbed a 3-minute core workout so that people can see some of the things that are available that you do post to social media. Let's take a look at that.
Lofty adventures. Here we go. Hands behind your head. Upper body comes off the floor, legs to 90. Make sure you're not past 90. You want to hold your legs evenly from the front and the back. Remember crunches, upper body starts up and stays up. Turn on your lats so your shoulder blades are completely off the floor. I'm going to turn this up. Ready? Twist top. Stay up. Nice and slow. Pull, pull, pull. Really roll and lift. Roll, lift. With the song, pull, up, and lift, lift. 4 more, then we're gonna go 45. 3, 2, here we go, 45. Pull. Same thing, do not lose your lines. Up. Remember, we're going up, not forward. Don't move your legs. You have 8 more. 7, 6, 5. Keep your back towards the floor. Squeeze your butt, tilt your pelvis. Here we go. Upper body stays up. Pull those legs to 90. Push. 45. 90. Add the twist top. Pull side. 45. Pull up. 45. And up. And down. Pull, lift. Oh my goodness. Down. And lift. Last one. Arms open, side. One line drops all the way down and up. And all the way down. Squeeze those legs together. Pull. And push. Underneath you, pull. Straight up. Push down. Squeeze through the back of your legs and pull. Add the twist top. Hands behind your head, upper body off the floor, twist, and go down. twist, and down. Pull up, twist. Keep your back on the floor. And twist. Song's almost over. Down. Pull up. And down. Pull up. There's more music. I'm so sorry. Down. Up. One more. Down. And up. Oh my goodness. I'm never doing crunches again to a slow song. I super apologize for that.
I nailed that. I love your mirror setup and I love your hamstring flexibility. Yes. I don't have those nice straight legs. If there's anything I've learned from my months of physical therapy and then Pilates, everything that you're doing is definitely based in stuff that I was doing with my physical therapist. So these are healthy moves that build really great core strength. And my legs just don't look the way that your legs look. My body doesn't work that way. But that is such a great, it's so awesome that you're even releasing, these 3-minute sort of quick hits for people. It's a nice taste of the Barboza method, and then if people are liking it, they can go to the on-demand platform and support the business and find out more and additional sorts of things to try out. So I think it's great that you're putting those out there. And today is a PT day for me, so I'm like, maybe I'll take some of that and go do it. So yeah.
That was advanced. I would do beginners, and that was a really hard one. I was like watching it. I was like, oh no. I love that I was wearing the same bra.
I was gonna ask, how was it watching yourself? Did you appreciate your form?
I was correcting myself so much. That's why I can never watch them back. Are you kidding?
Oh my God. Do you have anything else that you wanted to say to our viewers today?
Oh, I feel like that's such a loaded question now. Thank you so much for watching. I do have 1 month free if you guys want to try it. If you're an entrepreneur, keep on going. It doesn't get any easier.
I love it. Thank you
just keep on going.
so much, Stefanie, for joining me today and telling us all about the Barboza Method and who you are and the story behind all of it, and sharing your work with us. It's been a real treat. So farewell to you. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure. And I'll just say another thank you to everyone for tuning in today. You guys have been amazing. And we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. You know where to find us, right here on Display TV. So I'll see you then. Bye.